Tashdele to everyone, and welcome to the lesson 55th of Tibetan Grammar course on the Tree of Excellent Speech. And so today, in this class, we're going to discuss the final particle, that is the alternative particles. Like we discussed, the alternative particles is neither a dependent nor independent particles, because this does not come under either in the text of 30, meaning that it is not stated in the text of 30, but these are some important particles which also is very important in the usage and came along. So these particles are known as alternative particles, which the reason why these were translated as alternative particles is that when we talk about the usage case, you'll see that in today's class, you'll see that these particles tend to function similar to many of the dependent and independent particles that we have already discussed in the previous classes. So therefore, I have translated this as alternative particles. So before the previous class, we discussed the association. And in this class, we're going to discuss the usage cases, where these particles are used in statements, what type of statements these are used in. And there are quite many usage cases for this. So let me begin. So before we go to the main lesson, we begin with the line of devotion and the verse of devotion. So the line of devotion. So today we devote this class to the Great Mother, Saraswati. So, Yum chemo peme semola chatelo. Yum chemo peme semola chatelo. Yum chemo peme semola chatelo. Okay, so the verse. Jigden tsiki tsokwana. Nyowa tsile shemba yomayi. Lekshe tuente sambar machena. Jigden tsik tsok tuendam yobarkur. Jigden tsiki tsokwana. Nyowa tsile shemba yomayi. Lekshe tuente sambar machena. Jigden tsik tsok tuendam yobarkur. Jigden tsiki tsokwana. Nyowa tsile shemba yomayi. Lekshe tuente sambar machena. Jigden tsik tsok tuendam yobarkur. Okay, so what does it mean? So first, I prostrate to you, O Great Mother, Lotus Princess. So the word Lotus Princess is a name or title given to Mother Saraswati. One such title is the Wisdom Lamp. Shut up to me, Wisdom Lamp. Okay, so the verse. In the samsara compound of words, there does not exist any reality other than the imputation of the mind. If one does not comprehend this excellent teaching, the samsara compound of words becomes absolute. Okay, so with this verse, let us begin our class today. So this is the verse from the Tree of Excellent Speech. We had this in the previous class. This tells us only the association. Till this part, it introduces. So the function of this particular verse that we have here, so these lines, is to introduce the particle and then tell us about the association. So we already discussed this. So let me just read it. So lekshe jingwale sikje shingsonga nama hadang rala tametar shingshe sheo shenashi kada padang Tatra tar, Jingje Jiao Jenaji, Satar Mixel Shemato, Xingxi Xiu Shena Top. Okay. Now, today's lesson, we're going to talk about the usage case. These two, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, the sixth line These 6 lines, what it does is that it tells us about the different usage cases of the alternative particles. So this is not from any other text. This is just 6 lines that I have written to summarize the usage cases of the alternative particles. So, tönjor tulni tidarte. So, tönjor means the usage case. Tönjor tul is the usage case. Ni tidarte means is in this manner. Tani tamjor tam. So, let me count as I read this. So let me first read the entire thing, and then I will count each of the usage cases. Tönjor tulni tidarte duba tani samjor tam. Sigdön selje ju duba. Tive shidön gulwe tsik. Mönsi tani tambe tön. Changing nösung namla ju. Let me repeat this again. Tönjor tulni tidarte duba tani samjor tam. Sigdön selje ju duba. Tive shidön gulwe tsik. Mönsi tani tambe tön. Changing nösung namla ju. One more time. Tönjor tulni tidarte duba tani samjor tam. Sigdön selche ju duba. Tive shidön gulwe tsik. Mönsi tani dambe tön. Changing nösung namla ju. Okay, so this 6 lines, what it does is that it tells us about it's more or less 6 lines which tells us the usage case. So if you memorize the 6 line, the usage case of the alternative particles is all in this. So, tönjor tulni tidarte, which means this is the usage. This is the usage case. The following, these are the usage cases. Duba 1, samjor 2, sigdön seche 3, ju duba 4, tive shidön 5, gulwe tsik 6, mönsik 7, dambe tön 8, changing nösung 9. So there are 9 usage cases for the alternative particles. So like I said previously, there is quite a lot of usage cases for the alternative particles. The usage cases are thus: inclusive case 1 and conjunction case 2, usage as the particle thus 3, usage as concluding particle 4, used as if you ask me something, then 5, with question state 6, imperative case 7, usage in lines of prayers 8, imperative case 6, usage in lines of prayer 7, advising case 8, and usage as indefinite articles, and this is 9. So there are 9 usage cases for the particles, alternative particles. Okay, so the alternative particles have 9 usage cases. Inclusive case, we've already studied inclusive case previously. Conjunction case, usage as the particle thus, usage as concluding particle, usage as if you ask me something, then, with question state, imperative case, usage in lines of prayers, advising case, and usage as indefinite articles. So these are 9 usage cases of the alternative particles. Okay, so previously we had already determined that there are 14 alternative particles, 3 sets. First set has 5 particles, second set has 5 particles, the final set has only 4 particles. So in total, there are 14 alternative particles, and these 14 alternative particles are used in 9 different usage cases. Okay, so let us begin with the inclusive case. So inclusive case, the usage of alternative particles 形,静, 性 is to compound 2 or more adjectives or adverbs. So it's used to compound either 2 adjectives or 2 adverbs, so a defining word. So the 3 particles are 形,静, 性, And we know that the association with the name will depend on the rule that we have studied previously. So using that rule, we know when we are using xing, when we are using jing, and when we are using xing. It depends on the suffix letter, as we have discussed previously. So penna, gashing tro, gashing tro, gashing tro, tenjing telwa, tenjing telwa, tenjing telwa, jixing tra, jixing tra, jixing tra. Okay, so the first one is happy and delighted. So two adjectives we have, happy and delighted, which are compound by the usage of the particle xing. Second one, interdependence. So here, even though the very particle has not manifested as a translation, but interdependence. So inter and dependence. Jixingta is frightened and terrified. Frightened and terrified. Frightened and terrified. So we have these three examples in which we see that the usage of these three particles, jing, xing, jing, xing, xing, or xing, jing, xing, these three particles, they come in between two adverbs or two adjectives. They come between either two adjectives or two adverbs. So here we see that the position is between the two words. And these two words are adjective. Ga, xing, zhou. Similar, ten, jing, delwa. Jig, xing, zha. So we see that these particles function in order to compound these adjectives or adverbs. Okay, so the second usage is conjunction case. So the alternative particles xing, jing, xing are used as conjunction between two actions. So this we have already studied during the continuative case, that continuative particles. So we have studied the same usage case during the continuative particles. We have three continuative particles. Let me take this and let me write. So let's see if we have Tibetan. Okay, and let me see if I can take the font. Okay, let's make this 70 so that it's visible. Okay, so we have understood it in the continuative particles. So there are three continuative particles: te, he, or we can te, he, te. So very big reason why I haven't used this punctuation. This punctuation says that it has ended here. But the particles, what does the particle do? Particles are used in a statement between, and for example, these are continuative particles and used as conjunction case. So they function as a conjunction between two actions. So we have also studied it in a way that we have understood it as being a conjunction between two noun also. So okay, so we have understood it as a conjunction in terms of a conjunction between two noun, or conjunction between any two verb or action. So in those cases, we know that sometimes they join verb and sometimes they join the noun. Here we see that it functions as a conjunction but joins two noun. So we have te, te, te. So we have the three particles, and these are known as the continuative particles. So we use them in order to join two actions. So since I told you that these alternative particles also functions as an alternative to some of the particles that we have already studied, this usage case as the alternative, this usage case as the alternative particle is of the conjunction case. So it joins two actions, an action that happened before and an action that happened after. Sometimes it could be simultaneous also. So we have the same three particle, xing, jing, xing. You have the same particle, xing, jing, xing. So, penna. Sim kyo xing, mi chu tang. Sim kyo xing, mi chu tang. Sim kyo xing, mi chu tang. Chö jing, solwa dap. Chö jing, solwa dap. Chö jing, solwa dap. Lama kongma namki namtar töshing tebake. Lama tamba namki namtar töshing tebake. Lama kongma namki namtar töshing tebake. Okay, semkyo means to feel sad. Mikchutang means to cry. Sometimes the word chima is also used. Chö means to offer. Sulwadap means to pray. Lama Kongma means previous gurus. Namtar means their life story. Te means to hear. Tepake means devotion aroused or arised. Okay, so the first one, Kyoshing Michutang, crying while feeling sad. So we see that the usage of xing is used as while, a conjunction, which shows that there are two actions. First one is to feel sad. The second one is to cry. So cry while feeling sad. To do offering and pray. So the first action is to offer and then to pray. So two actions are conjunction between two actions. Devotion arose upon hearing the life story of the former gurus. So the first action is hearing the life story of the former gurus, and because of which the second action is devotion arose. So two actions, conjunction between these two actions. So xing, xing, jing. And the usage, for example, this doesn't have any suffix letter, so it will have xing. It has a suffix letter ta, jing. It has a suffix letter sa, so xing. So this we already discussed in previous class. If you want to revise it, please check the table in the previous, in the file of the previous lesson. You'll find it there. Okay, so the third usage case is usage as the particle thus. So as thus, stating something or clarifying something has been stated in this way. So the alternative particle she, je, usage as the particle thus. She, je. We already discussed that we don't have she, because then if we had she, if we had she, so if we had this particle, this will be confused. If we had particle like this will be confused with the word she a lot. So therefore, that's the reason why we don't have this particle. So we have only two particles which are used as thus, and these particles are she and ji. Penna gigen ki lama chelkap la themo jarku che labja nangsong. Let me repeat this. This gen la, so gigen la or gen la ki lama chelkap la themo jarku che labja nangsong. Let me repeat this again. Gen la ki, or let me exaggerate the sound a little bit so that it could be more like a syllable reading. Gen la ki lama chelkap la thelmor jargu che labcha nang song. Okay, Genla is teacher. Genla ki means teacher told, teacher said, or a teacher did something. So this is for the third grammatical case of the action, the subject case. Lama chelkap, when meeting the guru. La means hand. Tel mo jar. Tel mo means to join the inner part of the hands. Jar means to join. Ge means need or should. Che means thus. Labcha means advice. Nangsong means gave. So teacher gave us the, so roughly translating it, teacher gave us advice to fold our hands when meeting the guru. Second one, Kongi Gyoposong She Ser. Kongi Gyoposong She Ser. Kongi Gyoposong She Ser. Kong, him or her, or he or she, did something. What did they do? They said something. What did they say? They say, go fast. Fold your hands. So fold your hands, meaning to fold your hand in, to join your hands, more like to join your hand when meeting the guru. Thus was advised by the teacher. So one should join their hands to greet. So let me just do this. Join your hands in greeting when meeting the guru. Thus was advised by the teacher. So the teacher gave the advice to join your hands in greeting when meeting the guru. So thus here, go fast. Thus was said by him or her. So, okay. So now the usage case, the fourth usage case, that is usage as concluding particle. And now we have another set of particles, xiao, jiao, xiao. The alternative particles, xiao, jiao, xiao, are used as concluding particles. So we have the same thing as the recompound particles, which are ko, ngo, to, no. So let me write this. We have the recompound particles. So we, it was the first particle with the first grammatical case that we learned. Let me take the Tibetan keyboard. Okay. Ko. Actually, this can go like this. Ko, ngo, ngo, po, no, po, mo, po, ro, lo, so, to. Now, like I said in the previous, like I said a few minutes ago, the reason why I have dot here and I have this part, this punctuation here, is that these are recompound particles. They come at the end of the sentence. So I can write this particle, this punctuation. These are particles that come in between the statement, sorry, not sentence, statement. I've been repeating this again and again. We use statement because that's the original term used in the text. So statement. So why did I not use the punctuation, this punctuation here? Because these are particles that comes in between the statement, whereas these are particles that comes at the end of the statement. So because of which they can be written individually with this particular punctuation. If I do the same here, it will represent, or it will give a meaning that, oh, these are particles that comes at the end of the statement, which is not true. These are conjunction. They should come in between. Not only should they come in between, they, when we look at the examples, they do come in between two portion of a statement, the former and the later part of a statement. So therefore, whenever you, even if you want to cite them individually, make sure that you don't write it with this punctuation. You end with this punctuation, which means that it still has a part that goes after this. This means it's individual. Nothing goes after this. So that's the difference between this punctuation and this punctuation. But we'll study the punctuation in more details later. Just as very general understanding, because I thought that this was an interesting fact, so I wanted to share. And it could also be a sort of a doubt. One might think, oh, what is this person doing? Here he doesn't have this punctuation. But suddenly you see that here is a punctuation. Why is it treating these two particles differently? Is there a innate reason why he wants to treat those particles differently? The fact is that these particles are recompound particles. They come at the end. So even writing them by citing them individually, I can use the punctuation. These are continuative particles, and they come in between the statement. They come between the statement. So therefore, this punctuation indicates that there is a part that's coming after this. Whereas this says, okay, this is it. Nothing's coming after this. And that's the very function of the recompound particle. It tells us that this is the last part of this section. Whatever you're going to write after this, it's a new thing. It's its own thing. It has nothing to do with this thing that has already been stated. And that's the same sort of function of these particles. Xiao, jiao, xiao. Similarly, you can observe here. Xiao. Should have done this. Yes. You can see the difference here. I'm using this punctuation, whereas here I have used this different punctuation because these, as you can see, is not the last word of the statement. Whereas these, you can see that these are all the last part of the statement. And the other thing is that these are particles. These are not naming word. If it was a naming word, then you have the liberty of using this punctuation because each naming word is an individual word. Whereas particles needs to depend on the entire statement to make a particular meaning. This is the difference between the naming word and the particle. Naming word has more authority over being individual, whereas particles, they depend on the entire statement to manifest their meaning. So therefore, they have certain rule. If it comes at the end, okay, you have the liberty of saying, I'm going to use this punctuation. If it doesn't, then you should use the other punctuation rather than this one. So therefore, okay, so these are concluding particle, which means just by the name, we understand that these are used at the end of a statement to conclude a statement. Okay, penna. Tar khong la la me ngudrup chung sheo. Tar khong la la me ngudrup chung sheo. Tar khong la la me ngudrup chung sheo. Tar ba zelt jeo. Tar ba zelt jeo. Tar ba zelt jeo. Drove dunga hawar ke. Drove dunga hawar ke sheo. So this is not a sort of wish one is giving. It's just a sentence. So a statement. Drove dunga hawar ke sheo. Okay, what does it mean? So 1 minute. Let me change this. So at the end, she received the blessing of the guru. So ending. So it shows an ending. Find the liberation. And then the suffering of sentient beings multiply. So multiply. Okay, so these are the three statements as we see. Now the usage cases used as if you ask me something, then with question state, meaning that it's used in a question. It's used as a doubt. It's used as a counter question or a doubt. So if you ask me something, then it is like this. So it's like answering to someone's doubt. So let me change this so it stays consistent with what we have studied. Even though it is in some word, it feels very subtle because the punctuations sometimes the change is very subtle in appearance, but the meaning, it changes a lot, and then you understand a lot from just changing a little bit. So these particles, as you can see, these particles come in the middle. These particles come in the middle. So these particles come in the middle, as you can see. And since these particles come in the middle of statement, you can see this entire thing still needs to follow it. So as a way to say that these particles has a statement that follows it, we just use it like this instead of writing that other punctuation which is more or less like saying more or less using the period or the full stop. So something has ended to this point, so you start something new after that. Okay, so penna tarin ki letter so khare shena meto dumra tsangma sogyure tarin ki le meto dumra tsangma sogyure tarin ki letter so khare shena meto dumra tsangma sogyure. Okay, so this taring means today, later means work, later so means main job, main task, main work. Kangre means what it is. If you ask me what is the main job today, then it is meto means flower, tumra means garden, sangma means clean, so means to make clean, sogyure means to make clean. So roughly translating, if you ask me what's the main job today, it's to clean the flower garden or the garden. Pöde sikche nam kangla chuk chena keni rangle lotang riki gemba tang kaini rang tang nyamba waini rangle memba la chukho. Let me repeat this. Pöde sikche nam kangla chu chena keni rangle lotang riki gemba tang kaini rang tang nyamba waini rangle memba la chukho. Once more. Pöde tsikche nam kangla chu chena keni rangle lotang riki gemba tang kaini rang tang nyamba waini rangle memba la chukho. Okay, final example. Podang poda la su se shena chöge sonzen gambo in. Podang poda la su se. Actually, we use the honorific, which means sheng. But the reason why I use se here, because I needed this suffix letter to use this particle. So it is not wrong to use it, but this is not honorific. So usually you use the honorific. So podang poda la su se shena chöge sonzen gambo yin. Okay, so the first one. If you ask me what is the main task today, then it is to clean the garden. So if you ask me, then so in a question, if someone is asking a question or has a doubt, if you ask me how the vocative particles are associated, then the particle is used to address those who are elder or superior. The particle, so ye is used to address those who are elder or superior. The particle kai is used to address those who are equal of age and position, and the particle wei is used for those who are younger or inferior in position. So this is also used as, if you ask me, then this is like this. If you ask me who built the Potala Palace, then it was the Dharma king Songse Gampo. So he was the first one who built the Potala Palace. Later it was renovated, or let's say it was renovated or rebuilt, meaning that it was back in the 7th century. So it was back in the 7th century when it was built, and after almost 800 or 900 years, some parts were already old, so it was renovated, and upon that the Red Palace was also built. So That was during the 5th Dalai Lama. But the actual Potala Palace, the foundation, everything was built during the 7th century at the time of the Dharma king Songtse Gampo, the first of the 3 Dharma kings of Tibet. And also during whose rule Tumi Sambuddha went to India to study Sanskrit and Dharma, and then came back to establish the current system of writing and grammar. And also during his time, many of the text from Sanskrit was translated in Tibetan language. And the foundation of what we know as the Tibetan Buddhism started around that time. Okay, so these are the 3 examples. Now, imperative case, the alternative particles shik, chik, shik are used as imperative particles as command. Shik, chik, shik. Let us give this a punctuation each. Okay, so yes, it's also imperative case it's used at end. So now the question must arise: why not this? Why not like this? So why not join this? It's because since the suffix letter is ka and it comes at the end, it will not come with the punctuation. As you can see, it will not come with the punctuation directly. So this is because only for the letter ka at the end, we don't write the punctuation, which is this punctuation, the line. But if it has 2, then we will write 1. If it has 4, we will write 3. The first one is always skipped. Okay, there are certain rules about these punctuations. We'll study them later. So, penna. Tachibureto. Kera na la songshik. So, alternative particle used as imperative particle as command. So, tachibureto. Kera na la songshik. Tachibureto. Kera na la songshik. Tachibureto. Kera na la songshik. Konki keu thamba yin par koni keu thamba yu par me migu. It's migu. So me migu la keki kong shenyen to tent chik. Koni keu thamba yin par me migu la keki kong shenyen to tent chik. Koni keu thamba yin par me migu la keki kong la keki kong shenyen to tent chik. Keja nam laga yakpo chöchik. Keja nam laga yakpo chöshik. Keja nam laga yakpo chöshik. So ta means now, chibo means late, chibo redo means now it is late. Kera means you, nang la songshik means return to home, go to home. Shik as a command, someone elder telling to someone younger. Kong ni keu thamba yimpar. Kong means him or her. Ni is keu thamba means a saint. Yimpar means being. Me means to say. Migu means there's nothing to say. Means that it is not necessary to even say if he or she is a saint. And so keiki means you should. Kong shenye to tenchik teacher. So you should take him as a teacher, or you should take her as a teacher. Kecha means you. Kecha nam you in plural. Leka means job, work, task. Yakpo means good. Chö shik means commanding. So do a good job. So it is late now, and so return to your home. There is no need to vouch for him or her or being a saint, and so take him, her as your teacher. You do a good job. So you as a plural, or all of you do a good job. Okay, now usage in prayers of lines of prayer. Some of you might have seen these in the text. So shik, chik, shik used in lines of prayer as may. Shik, chik, shik. Penna. Lame kopan top gyurchik. Lame kopan top gyurchik. Lame kopan top gyurchik. Tunga gyatso rab gemshik. Tunga gyatso rab gemshik. Tunga gyatso rab gemshik. Dechu chonam rab keshi. Dechu chonam rab keshi. Dechu chonam rab keshik. So lame means the unsurpassable. Kobang means the state. Topgyur means achieved. Chik is may. So roughly saying, may I or may all of us achieve the unsurpassable state. That is the state of Buddhahood. Tunga means suffering. Gyatso means ocean. Rabkim means excellently drying up. Shik is may. So roughly translating, may the ocean of suffering excellently dry up or dries up. Deju means happiness or virtue. Sok means the merits, the virtuous merits. Nam means plural. It's virtue merits. Rab ke means excellently multiply. Shik is may. So may the virtuous merits multiply. Okay, or fruits also. So may all attain the unsurpassable state of Buddha. May the ocean of suffering excellently perish or dry up or perish. So the ocean of suffering is the samsara. It's another name for samsara, the ocean of suffering. So excellently perish means may everyone attain. So in a way, it's in a way, it is inferring that may everyone attain Buddhahood. May the virtuous fruits multiply. So usage as may. Now, alternative particles used as advising case. So shik, chik, shik are also used as advising statement. So we already studied this. We studied the imperative case. Some of you who have joined me for the conversation courses, you have already have this idea where we talk about imperative case. So imperative case are divided in three: imperative as command, imperative as request, and imperative as advising case. So the request here is more like prayer in this case. Command we already saw. Now the third one is imperative as advising statements, to advise someone. Shik, chik, shik, used as advising someone. Penna. Paume ki chupa dindra matunchi. Paume ki chupa dindra matunchi. Paume ki chupa dindra matunchi. Shempe lo nam yaya somshi. Shempe lo nam yaya somshi. Shempe lo nam yaya somshi. Lobjong lekpo cheshi. Lobjong lekpo cheshi. Lobjong lekpo cheshi. Paume ki chupa means an unbecoming, non-virtuous behavior. Tindra means like this. Matun means do not display. So advising someone, please, or advising someone saying, don't show or don't display such non-virtuous behavior. Or one shouldn't display such non-virtuous behavior. Second one, champagne means altruistic. Champagne lo means altruistic mind. Nam, it's a multiply or plural. Yang means again and again. Som means think or contemplate. So you should think again and again about altruistic mind. Lobchong means study. Lekpo means good. Chueshik means do. So to study well. So the first one is do not display such non-virtuous behavior. Second one, think about the altruistic mind again and again. Third one, study well. Now the final usage case is usage as indefinite article. An and a. The alternative particle shik, chik, and shik are used as indefinite articles. So here we might just use this because it comes in between the statement. So shik, chik, shik. And shik. Penna. Rite tala luci. ta. Rite tala luchi ta. Rite tala luchi ta. So this is a word probably you don't see a lot. It is an alternative of using the word tuk. Tarin shosesu kushushi sein. Tarin shosesu kushushi sein. Tarin shosesu kushushi sein. Finally, ceshi lushi sang geba. Ceshi lushi sang geba. Ceshi lushi sang geba. Okay. Ri means mountain. Te means that. Ta means the foot, or it means the foot of the mountain. Luk means sheep. Chik means and da means exist. So roughly translating, there exists a sheep at the foot of the that mountain. Taring today, shokse breakfast. Su meaning like four. Kushu apple. Shik and se 8. I ate an apple for breakfast this morning, roughly translating. Tse, life. Shik, or single, or one. Lu, body. Shik, one. Single. Sangyeba, attain enlightenment. So roughly translating, attaining enlightenment in one body, one life. There exists a sheep at the foot of the mountain, or that mountain. That mountain. I ate an apple this morning for breakfast. Enlightenment in one body, one mind. So these are the 9 usage cases of the 14 alternative particles. So before I read the final verse, does anyone have any question regarding these? And let me read this once more. So these 6 lines, if you memorize these 6 lines, you will have the entire usage case of the alternative particles. Okay, let me read this once. Tunjo tsuni titarte duba tang ni chamjor tang tsikdun silche juk duba tiwe shiten guwe tsik mun tsik tang ni dambe tun changi ngun namla juk. So these 6 lines tells you the usage case of alternative particles. And if you memorize the 6 lines, you have the entire 9 usage case memorized. Okay, so before I read the final line, first, do we have anyone, any question? Do we have any question regarding today's lesson? Does anyone have any questions regarding today's lesson? And I know that it's a lot of usage case. So, and with this, we are done with the entire usage case of the alternative particles and all the particles that are discussed in the commentary of 30, the Tree of Excellent Speech. So does anyone have any question regarding this? Okay, so if anyone have questions, you can directly ask in the group, or you can send it to me. So is there anyone who's going to read the portion of the Tree of Excellent Speech? Any recitation? Does anyone wants to recite? Do we have anyone reciting it? Lasso, Yurila, please recite.
May I, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Ramatang Gompo Jampirian La Chazero Om A Ra Pata Nadi Nini Galta Membe Da Dani Dujen Gimte Tang Zegap Tangam Wala Juk Minki Tome Deta Ni Tanye Tema Tapa Tang Namdan Shenchen Nye La Juk Chi Chi Sukan Chi Tar Te Shikte Leta Chila Chi Neshin Tanshin Kela Chi, 斯尼冈萨冈根拉欧。
Lasso, thank you very much. Very wonderfully recited. Lasso, so before I read the final verse, so till this point, we have finished the second part of the Tree of Excellent Speech. The first one was the basic sound, and the suffix, prefix letters, and after that, the second part of this text is the particles, dependent, independent particle, and alternative particles. Now we are only left with the final one, which we will do afterwards. So this is the final class for the grammar course for this session. So we'll have a few days of break after this, which we will announce later. So yes, and so that this is the final class and the final class of the second part of the Tree of Excellent Speech. So so I would like to thank every one of you who have continuously participated in this, and I hope that it was beneficial as it was enjoyable for me to teach. And now let me read the final verse and we'll end today's class with this. Okay, so the final verse is Tsikjo lengme kimki pulop sambola. Keni kangsong sambal hundrup yongwatang. Tsikjo sangme kun la pempa rabsepe. Melam tsiksum tita taaki shuwayin. Let me repeat this. Tsikjo lengme kimki pulop sambola. Keni kangsong sambal hundrup yongwatang. Tsikjo sangme kun la pempa rabsepe. Melam tsiksum tita taaki shuwayin. Once more, Tsikjo legme kimki pulop sangbola. Keni kangsong samban hundrup yongwatang. Tsikjo samme kunla pempa rabsepe. Melam siksum tita taki shuayin. Okay, what does it mean? It means, O students of the family of excellent union of words, I state these few words of best wishes for you. May all your aspirations be realized wherever you go. May your excellent union of words benefit all. So with this, we're done with this class and the second part of the Tree of Excellent Speech. I hope everyone benefited from this. And I hope I wish everyone of you to have a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, and a good night, depending wherever you are. So this is it for today's lesson, and have a great break. And we will announce the next semester afterwards. Lasso, tashitele, and thank you.
Tukjinang.
Lasso.